Like I've never, and not that I've had a lot of experience in churches, and I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but even in the like cool New Age church that I went to in college a few times, I don't remember there ever being like a practical class for how to adopt and live. Like, okay, what does it mean to love your neighbor?
Right.
Does it mean you cook extra food and bring them the leftovers? Well, that's charity. It may or may not be love, you know.
Right.
But if you really love your neighbor, then you already know what food they like. And if you don't know, you're going to ask them and make sure that what you bring them is something they're really going to enjoy because you get a feeling in your body of elation when they get elated. You
Mm-hmm.
know? So you'll never learn that if you don't actually practice truly
Right.
loving your neighbor. Now,
You would
I'm
get
not going to claim to love my neighbor. I mean, I don't, you know, I just assume not interact too much with them.
right. I know that was I have boundaries.
Yeah, right. It's about right. It's about boundaries. Now it's different. If I, yeah, it's it just is what it is. Right. But we're sort of giggling about loving our neighbor because we don't like them because they're like whatever. But
Yeah.
the thing is, that's the real lesson.
Yeah.
The lesson, loving our neighbor doesn't mean that you become their best friend, and it doesn't really mean that you get to know all their habits and their likes and dislikes and bring them to
Right.
dinner every Friday. Loving your neighbor is an exercise that when you do it can break your heart open when the love isn't returned. So
Right.
if you love your neighbor and you're like, and just because you feel like this great whatever, you just want them to be happy and you make a big dinner and so you prepare a special plate and you make it look really nice and you take it to the house and you don't even want anything for it. Like a thank you would be okay,
Yeah.
you know. But they look you in the eye and they're like, Leslie, I don't want your fucking food. And slam the door in your face, like a total rejection after all the effort and all the good vibes and like it's a real slap. And when we're stuck in not good enough, what happens is it just triggers us. It's just because that's like the total evidence that what we did isn't good enough, even though we just put all this effort and all this love and all this whatever. And there's a total rejection that just proves that, we can't possibly be enough.
I
But
know.
when you're over it, like that, an experience like that can really allow our heart to be kind of ripped open, because you can actually love your neighbor even more when that happens. Because instead of like getting triggered and all upset at like feeling small because of the way they treated us, you can actually like laugh at it
Uh,
because it's their issue,
right.
right? They're not willing to feel the love. They've got their walls up. They're defending the last little bit of enoughness they feel that they've got left. You
Right.
know, they got their walls up, and here you are totally like breaking all that down and being total and surprising them, which of course people don't like surprises because they might not be good enough. I mean, that's
Right.
the pathology. So, really, if you've really popped out and you have this experience with your neighbor, it's really an opportunity to like let your heart be broken open and just like love your neighbor more and have more compassion for the situation they're in. Like, wow, you can't even accept this loving gift I have. That's a bummer. Like, I'll just go to the other neighbor's house and see if they want it. you
Yeah.
know, like it doesn't have to be a devastating blow to our ego to be rejected like that. It can actually be an opportunity to like really find a deeper sense of like love and connection, within ourselves. Because I think about it, if I'm taking a gift to the neighbor and I've just put all this effort and work into it, I probably have an expectation that they're going to like it,
Right.
right? So it's really my expectations that are causing the
You're gonna
problem.
be, yeah.
So like that's part of the fun is finding out, oh, it's my expectation, you know
Right. I know I did that actually for the neighbor. They kept coming over and asking for like pasta and sauce. And like, and I'm like, God, they must be down and out. They can't afford food and they keep
Oh,
asking for absurd stuff, and I was kind of like, okay, whatever. So then I had like a big piece of salmon. And so I cooked this big meal and I invited them over and they came over and ate really quick and left. And I was like, okay, that's cool. you know, I guess we're not going to hang out. That's fine.
that's fine. And you don't,
Yeah.
you just don't know, but that's,
Yeah.
you created the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You can kind of laugh at it or you can be all
I think
upset.
at the time I was a little offended. I'm trying to remember. Like, I wasn't super upset, but I was just a little bit like, oh, that was a little bit like, just just use me and leave. Okay.
Oh, I know. No, I felt that way too.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Believe me.
yeah, okay, I get it now. You just need what you need when you need it. I got you.